Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Rampant Red Devils. I'm Ryan and today I'll be doing my natural analysis of Manchester United's away trip to Southampton in the second game of the new Barker's Premier League season. After Man United's dominant and confident 5-1 victory over Leeds United, I was hoping that United would go to Southampton with the full intent of showing everyone that they mean business this season by getting another victory to make it 2 wins from 2 to show a statement of intent from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Let's see how the game went. So, team news, it was a very interesting team selection by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Dan James was dropped so that Anthony Martial could return to his main role as the number 9 up front. Mason Greenwood was pushed out to the right. Pogba kept his place on the left. Fred and Matic were the starting midfield pair instead of McTominay. And Lindelof was still in place while Varane and Sancho remained on the bench. Was I happy with these changes? No. Why are you changing a team that is winning that won 5-1 the last game? It doesn't make sense. I don't know why Ollie made those changes, but anyway, first half, United's play, how do I sum it up? If I had to sum up United's first half play, absolutely diabolical. Apart from the first 10 minutes where we looked on top and looked like we could have scored 2-3 goals. But as the half wore on, you just knew that the midfield was going to get overrun. Fred and Matic, or Fretic as I like to call them, are not a good midfield pair. Fred was having an awful game, not being able to pass the ball to anybody on the field. Matic, his old age again showed once again as he's too slow on the ball and not up to the speed of the Premier League. And we were punished just before half time. Bruno Fernandes loses the ball and wants a free kick from a challenge on Jack Stevens. More on that in a second. The ref doesn't give a foul. Stevens plays the ball into Adam Armstrong, who finds Che Adams, who gets away from Maguire, and Adams shoots, which deflects off Fred and takes it past David De Gea, who I feel should have saved the shot regardless of it being deflected. And against the run of play, Southampton lead 1-0. Fred turning his back on the shot again is poor. Second, the fact that we couldn't close down the shot, poor. David De Gea not saving the shot despite given how tall he is and how big arms he has to reach the shot, again, poor. Hence why I want Dean Henderson to be number 1, but because he's currently not in the side because of COVID, so that's a big issue. And yeah, obviously many fans saying that it was a foul on Bruno by Stevens. VAR didn't seem to think that there was. I was on the fence at first, but after watching the footage back quite a few times, I agreed with many and said that it wasn't a foul. Bruno just needs to get up and stop trying to whinge at every free kick decision that goes against him, because it makes him look like a very bad player when he does that, and no wonder he gets called out by certain people during games. Anyway, first half 1-0 down. Let's see what happens in the second half. So again, second half starts and United start off poor. Fred and Matic are just not a great midfield duo. Pogba is trying to pull the strings. Pogba was probably our best player on the pitch the entire 90 minutes. Great through balls in behind the Southampton defence. He's having the best start to his man. He's having one of the best starts to a season, I think, in Manchester United colours. But Anthony Martial, again, another terrible forward display. He got hauled off in the 60th minute because he just had a shambolic performance. I think it's time for him to leave. He just doesn't have the right attitude or just doesn't hold the ball up well. He just thinks that he's the best thing. He's the best forward at Man United when he really isn't. So he needs to get gone either towards the end of this window in January or even next summer, because I'm not putting up with a striker that doesn't really care and has a lazy attitude. Fred as well somehow played the whole 90 minutes. I don't know how. What a waste of £50 million, near enough. Lindelof, Varane and Sancho need to start from now on. I think I like Lindelof, but he sometimes he gives mistakes, and Greenwood needs to start up front, and Sancho needs to hold down that right midfield spot. Anybody saying that Sancho's stat pads in the Bundesliga is wrong, because he didn't stat pad in the Bundesliga. He's one of the best young kids in Europe, and he'll show it at Man United. But anyway, our goal came from excellent play between Bruno and Pogba and Luke Shaw. Again, our left-hand side being a threat. We finally broke through the Southampton defence. Mason Greenwood, being the clinical finisher he is, made it 1-1, and for the last half hour, for 20 minutes after we scored the goal, we looked back on top and looked to be dominating again. But unfortunately, we weren't able to carve out another chance, really, and the game ended 1-1. So, that's my analysis. On the whole, I'd say it was a pretty average and dull Manchester United performance compared to last week. Obviously, Mason Greenwood and Pogba get the plaudits because they were the two best players on the pitch by an absolute country mile. Obviously, Southampton, I think, they're an all right side. Southampton. Nathan will probably disagree with me, but I think they'll be all right. Do I think that they'll survive? Do I think that they'll be involved in a relegation battle? Yes, I do, and that's just my personal opinion. Do I think Adam Armstrong, I think, needs to take the chances that he had, like he did in the game, where he had the chance to make it 2-1, but he shot straight at De Gea. I think he needs to take those chances. Ward-Prowse doesn't need to get injured, and they'll have a chance of staying up. But I do think that they will be involved in a relegation battle. But it was far from the performances that we had against Southampton last season, in the 3-2 victory and at St Mary's in the 9-0 at home. Obviously, we miss Cavani greatly, as Cavani is that extra threat that you need. He makes runs that no other forward makes. Obviously, Martial, his attitude just stinks, and I don't like him at all. Fred as well, I really don't like. And this is my call to Manchester United and the Glazers, but we need to buy a midfielder in the final few days of the transfer window. If you haven't read my blog post on why we need a midfielder, check it out. Link will be in the description. But basically on there, I just detail why we need a midfielder, because we've signed Varane and Sancho, which is great. But you can't win a title with a McFred, McMatic or Fretic midfield. You just can't. Why Donny van der Beek isn't being used, I don't know. Obviously, Pogba potentially not signing a new contract and even on a free is also a big issue. There are still quite a few issues at Manchester United, and there was me going all confident into the new season, and it just feels like after this 1-1 drab draw against Southampton, which for me is 2 points dropped, it already feels as if, well, it's sort of like history repeating itself from last season. We can put in great performances against Leeds, and then we turn up, and then we play really poorly and can't take chances, can't progress the ball up the pitch, and expect a 1-1 draw against Southampton, who, in my honest opinion, are going to be involved in a relegation battle. It's not good enough. We don't have enough squad depth. But that is my rant over. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe. Obviously, Jack and Nathan will have their own videos coming out soon. Obviously, Jack is contemplating a new series. Nathan, I don't know what his plans are, but I'm sure he'll tell you very soon. All our links down below for our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram pages are in the description. We now have a Tumblr called the Free Kick Blogcast. On there, we'll be writing match previews for games. We'll be giving analysis on certain players, individuals, team performances, etc. It's really exciting, and we look forward to sharing those with you. Obviously, my recent article on Tumblr about why Manchester United need a new midfielder is already out, so please make sure to give that a read. And I will be back on Monday with my review of Man United's next trip, which is an away game to our bogey team Wolves. That'll be fun. So see you on Monday, and until the next time, see you soon.